Good evening and welcome to Facebook Live. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous. I am your host this evening, as I am every Friday evening. I'm the creator of Divorce Support Anonymous, the author of the Suddenly Single series, and a domestic mediator. And I come into your life on Friday nights live because I want to make a contribution to you as you go through the struggle of divorce. I put out a poll on my Facebook page on what it is that you would like to have discussed this week. Option A was depression, which is I am so far down and I can't get up. Choice B was the 1, 2, 3s of a powerful single life, which is really a point where I want to get us to, and we will get there. However, the poll was that we would discuss depression tonight. And the topic was, I'm so broken down, I don't know how to get up. So depression is a topic that we will face. And I want to give you some tools and some helps to deal with it, to get through it, to get beyond it. And we're going to talk about that tonight. Many of us may feel not only depressed, but exhausted. So I would ask you the question, are you exhausted or are you truly going through depression? And my guess is you would say both. Fair enough. So exhaustion, there's only one cure for that, and that is rest. And actually rest is something that's going to help you with depression as well. So let's get started. First of all, what is depression? Is it that you lack energy, that you're not sleeping, or you're sleeping too much? You're eating or not eating too much? You feel just a heavy weight upon you. You can't think clearly. You don't have hope. You can't see clearly. You are going to have moments of these. It is part of this journey. That's not consolation, though, is it, as you go through it? But just to know that it's normal can help us as we face it, to know that this is part of what I'm going through. This is part of the journey. So you shouldn't be surprised if you are facing it. Many of you will be facing a foggy mind, not able to think clearly, to make good decisions because you are depressed. Research shows that it takes 3 to 5 years for an individual to get back to true functioning working capacity as they go through divorce. Now, I don't tell you that to make you more depressed, but I want you to know, again, you are going through a trauma that is going to take some time and some intention to get through. And I would not be hesitant to have a conversation with your physician. Is there possibly a prescription that could help you deal with where you are right now so you can think a little clearer, you can function better? So depression comes in all different degrees, and you may face some of it for a short period of time, or you may be stuck in it. And I want certainly to help get you through that. So I want to give you 3 pointers. And number 1 is you are going to need to talk yourself through it. Compassionately. Compassionately talk yourself through it. I remember my initial days of going through divorce. I remember how I had to talk to myself out loud to get me through the day. Can you put your foot out of the bed? Can you go and take your shower? Can you start making breakfast for the children? And if you have been depressed, you know how real this really is. That you do need to coax yourself through it because you feel like a lead weight that can't move. And something has to get you moving. So my first point is talk to yourself compassionately as you go through this depression. You need to meet yourself where you are right now. And that is, you need to admit that you are going through a depression. And I know for many of you, men in particular, this is hard to do. Depression is not a weakness. It's a part of being human. So if you're thinking, well, if I'm depressed, I'm weak, you need to stop that thought, because that is not correct. Everyone goes through depression at some time, and primarily those who go through a trauma such as divorce certainly are going to go through some type of depression. So admit it. Now, if you must wallow, then wallow constructively. What do I mean by that? I mean, use this energy to do something. Perhaps you're journaling. Perhaps you're writing things out. Maybe you're listing. If you don't like the idea of journaling, then start listing. What are the things that I'm depressed about? What are the losses that I'm going through? It will help you bring clarity to it. It's not going to lighten your mood, but it is going to bring clarity, and you will feel like you are doing something productive instead of just sitting there pulling the bed covers over your head. So wallow constructively. Use this painful and powerful time. Celebrate your small successes. If you get out of bed in the morning, say, hey, I did it. I got out of bed this morning. Celebrate those small successes. You need this encouragement. You need to encourage yourself. And I realize many of you are taking care of children, leading a busy career, and still going through divorce. Oh, how I wish the world would stop so you could just concentrate on the divorce. But it doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. So don't allow yourself to make final conclusions from temporary events. Let me repeat that. Do not allow yourself to make final conclusions over temporary events. This is temporary. This depression is temporary. It will not stay, especially if you are going to work on it and do something about it. So point number 2, you need support. I know you've probably heard this in just about every Facebook Live and every post that I put up of how much you need support. For many of you, that's hard. That's hard to reach out and ask, but you need to find people who are speaking good things into your life. Not negative, not someone who's going to help you bash your spouse, but someone who's going to contribute and give you hope and put good things into your life, to speak into your life. You're going to need to reach out to get that support. No one's coming to your door, knocking on the door saying, here, let me help you. If they are, they're pretty much an angel. But typically it doesn't happen that way. You are responsible for that. So you need to reach out to a church, a therapist. And many of you say, I don't even know how. I don't even know how to reach out, to ask for help. I've never asked for help before. Fair enough. You can begin by Googling, looking for a therapist, a church nearby, a support group nearby. Certainly, I'm holding virtual support groups. We just finished week 2, and I will be doing them in the future as well. So you can connect with that. You can do it in the safety of your own home. But you need support, and you need to reach out and get that support. And then you make a phone call and say, I would like to understand more about your therapist, or how someone in your church helps people going through divorce or people having difficult times. You're not going to have to explain yourself on the telephone. You're just starting this process. And then if you meet with them once and you don't feel comfortable and it doesn't work for you, You have not made a commitment. You're simply showing up to see, to explore. You're curious of how this might possibly help you. I went to see a therapist quite some time ago, right after the divorce, because I wanted some insight. I thought, maybe there are things that I'm not seeing that I need to see. So I went to a therapist, very enlightening. And I didn't even think I needed to go at that point. I did. So reach out, make that first step. It's not a commitment. You don't have to stay with them, but it is being curious of how this therapist, church, or support group might be of help to you. Number 3, to help dealing with depression and being able to step out of it is to stop looking backward. You're not going there. You're moving forward. So you are going to begin looking forward. Don't look too far down because it will paralyze you, but you're going to begin looking forward and stop dwelling on the past. That is exactly why we have this book. This book exists. Suddenly Single, Rebuilding Your Future After Divorce. There is step by step as you go through this book on how to develop a plan for your future and for your life. So, you need support. Oops, I lost track here. Stop looking backwards. That's where we were. Number 3, use the book. It is very inexpensive, less than $10. You can find it online, so look it up. And then you're going to start taking small steps. You're going to do something. You're going to start adding something to your routine, your daily routine that might help you, that might jolt you out of this depression. You're going to identify, again, why this book is so helpful. It helps you identify what it is that you want. You have spent so much time focusing on a negative relationship and so much energy. Now we need to start looking forward and knowing that you do have a future and you do have a hope. Identify what you want and then create a plan to go after it. Again, this book is going to help you do that. It's going to involve taking some smart risks and putting yourself out there. But nothing changes without risk. So we have to have a plan and we have to start stepping out and doing it. 3 final points for this evening. Number 1, talk yourself through it. Talk yourself through day by day. Talk to yourself in the car as you go to work. Be compassionate to yourself. Say, hey, you know what? You did something really great today. You can do it first person, second person, however you want to do it. I did something really great today. And talk about it. Talk about it to yourself. Talk about it to others. You'd be amazed how much this can ground you and help you get through depression. Number 2, find support. Find some means of support. The way that is most helpful for you. It is going to take you stepping out to find it, but find that support. Number 3, stop looking back. You're not going that direction anymore. You have a beautiful future ahead of you. And I realize that if you were in depression, you don't see it right now. But let me see it for you. Let me give you my faith that I have for your future, full of potential. I have worked with literally hundreds of people going through divorce who felt they did not have hope. And yet I see them today, and they are living beautiful lives. Don't forget to take the cares, the depression, all of it in prayer to God, who cares intimately for you. I hope these tips have been of help. And I hope tomorrow the sun will shine just a little bit brighter and you'll lift your head and you'll begin moving forward. And we will talk about the 1, 2, 3s of living a powerful single life next week. Take care. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Facebook Live next Friday night. Good night.